Welcome to the Mitcham History Notes YouTube channel. Today's video is about a fire at a rubber dump at Willow Lane in June 1947. This photograph of the plume of smoke from the fire at Mitcham was taken on top of the Daily Express building, and in their article they even provided a little map to show you how far away that was, 7 and a bit miles. These photographs are from the Merton Memories website, and all the links are in the description below. I'm now going to read out the article from the Daily Express. From the Daily Express, Tuesday, June the 3rd, 1947. Biggest fire on hottest day blots out 7 miles of London sun. On the warmest June day for 80 years, and in an evening of tropical heat, firemen tried for 5 hours to get near the biggest flare-up in London since the Blitz, and save a street of homes, 6 factories, and a vital government rubber dump. They saved the homes and the factories, but thousands of tons of rubber were destroyed, and the dump at Mitcham, Surrey may smoulder for a week. At midnight, night shift firemen were still pouring water onto it. At tea time yesterday, a smoke cloud from the fire began to blot out the sun and spread 7 miles into central London. Early this morning, a fog-like pall still hung over the Kingston bypass, and the smell of burning rubber was in the air all the way to London. Call after call went out for more firemen as flames spread along 13,000 tons of rubber and tyres stacked in the dump. 450 firemen and 45 fire engines turned up to the same spot where a practice firefight was carried out 6 months ago. Only in narrow streets separated homes in Willow Lane from the dump. They were evacuated, and firemen and civilians started to make a fire break. Fences were torn down and volunteers wheeled away tyres. But the flames were still spreading. Water showed signs of running out. Firemen found it too hot to get close to the burning rubber, so it was decided to evacuate some of the factories around the dump. Work girls formed a bucket line to damp down timber dumps. Others made up parties to supply water, lemonade and biscuits to firemen. 2 girl guides, 13-year-old Pamela Hunt and 14-year-old Shirley Clamp, joined them and carried buckets of water. Said Pamela, "We didn't like the fire much, but we didn't like to see the men go thirsty either." Just after 8 p.m, the blaze was controlled. 1 man went to hospital overcome by heat. Others sat down for a rest. More lemonade came out. A fireman drank a jug in one gulp, pulled out a cigarette and said, "Has anyone got a match?" But what caused the fire? Eric Montague, writing in his book Willow Lane and Beddington Corner, number 13 in the Mitcham History series, said, "During the 1939-45 war, by which time most of the gravel pits had been reclaimed, land to the south of Willow Lane was taken over by the Ministry of Supply for the storage of huge quantities of salvaged rubber tyres, held as a strategic reserve and awaiting reprocessing. On the opposite side of the lane was a graveyard of wrecked aircraft, awaiting resmelting by non-ferrous founders with premises in Willow Lane and at Collier's Wood." Here he's referring to Fry's Metals, and they were operating in the Willow Lane estate as the Tyre Smelting Company. By the time the war had ended, the tyres, together with other rubber salvage, like self-sealing petrol tanks, stripped from aircraft, had been piled into heaps 15 to 20 feet high. Health and safety, eh? In 1947, this enormous accumulation provided fuel for one of the most spectacular fires Mitcham has ever had the misfortune to experience. Despite the efforts of teams of firefighters summoned from all over the London area, the rubber continued to burn and then smoulder for several days, emitting a column of dense black smoke that could be seen for many miles, as the Daily Express had pointed out in their photograph on the article I've just read. The fallout left a rime of greasy black soot over a wide area, and a stench of burning rubber pervaded the neighbourhood for weeks afterwards. Oh joy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That's all for now. Bye.